Really interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, really interesting how he considered the fold so heavily because people just under bluff in these $400 tournaments. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, what are his bluffs? You know, like if we really think about it, like sure, ace high, like ace high has some showdown value if you had ace five, and when he raises the turn with maybe some backdoor diamond draw or something like that, he actually gets calls in on this kind of board. Like, what hands do you have that you're folding?
And it's going to have some misdraws and things too. So I think calling is the only option myself. Let's see if Boogaloo got away from it. Ooh, call is 6.
So this is close between call.
Really interesting. So call is 6, raise is 7,500 is 10 points. And I'm going to say he said that because this is a very bad player. And so he thinks the very bad player is going to stack off here with worse queens a lot. I'm going to guarantee that's what he's going to say. Very interesting, though. I thought call for sure was the right answer. I never am in this spot. I don't know. Interesting spot, too. I think this is a little bit of a lesson for everyone out there, too. A lot of times, the hands we want to float with, like this one, are better as raises. So this kind of falls in that category.
Yeah, and he was kind of an echo chamber for us there, saying, you know, we just get better hands to call and worse to fold.
Yep.
Like, he's going to have some gut shots in his range. He's going to have spade draws. He's going to have king X. And we kind of, we kind of identify kind of what cards are going to be bad for us on future streets. And we're aware how to proceed on those cards.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's a very good point, man. You're right.
That was the best. You didn't say anything. You won. Just straight out.
You won. I'm just spewing.
All right, so ooh, look at this. You're not opening this. You just looked at this. You're not opening.
Button cut off, hijack, low jack, under the gun one. You are.
Come on now. Okay. I am. So let's see if he.
He's got to open it, or there wouldn't be a hand.
You wouldn't
I'm
be
already down on points.
You're already down on points in real life. Now, obviously, you're gonna cheat, but
I'm gonna evolve.
you're gonna adapt, right?
All right, let's play it.
I'm going to cry if he says he's folding here. Like, if he's like, yeah, you should be folding this in this kind of tournament, and you were actually right. All right, cool.
Wah, wah.
Like a spot where we have
Ah!
standards.
Yes.
And the reason is because queen.
I just want to say for the record that this is the best 3-point score I've ever gotten in my life. Because the right answer was fold.
Right? But you heard what he said about the tables. This is a 3K.
Here comes the excuses. 10
The
points
excuses
fold.
to
It says
open,
right
if your
here.
table is particularly tight and weak, welcome to the $5 2K world. I mean, the $11 10K. I'm opening this, yeah, for sure.
This is the best 3 points of my life.
That's hilarious. And everybody's 50.
Nailed it. What the hell kind of play is that from King Queen? Who does that?
What the hell? Yeah, so imagine.
Jonathan Little's an absolute crusher, so it's nice to have him.
Yeah, I agree, and I
He's
always
just
love
coaching.
playing right after sessions like this because I feel like my brain's warmed up. I'm thinking through things, and so it's a good way to start your session for sure.
Right. All right, guys, this is it.
What's up, Mike? You want to give a gist? He was saying Narco Cop was playing about D-pipping about 28% of hands. He had been very aggressive in this $10 buy-in, and here are the options to fold, to call, to raise to 1,200, raise to... What? Wait a minute, he made it 800, and my man's giving options for 12 and 1,400. So it's already getting kind of spicy. That's so nasty. To be on a site with these other crushers, well-known poker public figures is pretty exciting, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I didn't mention that when I was kind of giving a little intro here too. Assassinato, Matt Affleck, John Little, all coaches on the site, so very highly respectable, quality poker content.
Yep, Evan Jarvis as well. Remember Evan Jarvis, Matt Affleck, Assassinato, John Little.
Yeah, so I guess that just makes sense. He just have the ace of clubs in his hand. That's interesting, though. I
How
thought
many
that was
points you got?
interesting.
You didn't do that bad. 45.
I like how you just pat me on the back. You didn't do that bad. Well, yeah, good job, buddy. Like,
The back.
I remember I got the higher score in the first one. So, we're 1 for 1, buddy.
I just want to know.
Calling, guys. Let's see if we're good.
Similar situation. That's pre-flop? I think pre.
All right, guys, we're checking, I guess. Oh, for fuck's sake.
One of the things I see people when it comes to poker is when you can get to the turn and there's an opportunity.
When you're facing a min raise or just a touch more than a min raise, and there's an ante in play, which is going to be the case in most tournaments, I think, going forward, you want to defend pretty wide. If your opponent's making a 2.
All right, cool. You're going 1,400.
I'm going 1,400, guys.
I'm gonna go call with the arm and just see what happens.
All right, and
I would fold in game though, for the record, in case that's the winning game.
You won. You win. I have to concede. You win.
14K.
14K, let's do it.
Well, no, we can't win. This is a pretty rough spot because damn it.
Mm-hmm. Where do you gonna get my chat? They like naughty things. They like just beer, alcohol,
All right, let's do I can do a $10 ACR giveaway.
$10 ACR giveaway courtesy of my man Toe. For me beating that ass heads up in this. Sorry. No, I'm kidding. We'll do this. We'll have to do it at least once a week, man. And then we'll do it every week a couple times.
So it's a tie.
I guess we got to give out $10 to each other's communities. We'll just do our own $10 free roll for each. Or does that sound fair?
Yes. Do you know what this means?
You win. I give his chat $10. Take it.
So that's cool because we have 2 ties and then a win from you and a win from me. This is like the epic battle. It's perfect. It's great.
Yeah, we're even Stevens.
This is awesome.
Take it.
I love it.
You know,
Stop. We got a giveaway going. Let's run the giveaway for the $10 ACR winner. Closing the giveaway. Drawing the winner. My man Sebs are getting the $10 ACR giveaway for this one.
two.
We're live back on the streets for the. We're gonna take some. We're gonna take some quizzes.
Your mic's cutting it out for me. I don't know if it's just on my end.
Oh, it looks like it was cutting out on my end too. That better? I think
Yeah,
I
it's
fixed it. Back on the streets for the study stream. Having technical failures like we do. It's normal. You know what time it is. Take some quizzes, win some prizes. It's brought to you by pokercoaching.com. Pizza in the chat where you get a link to sign up for free, where you get 20 free quizzes, big blind charts for 100 bonds or more, and a bunch of homework assignments. Sign up for premium. There's a bunch of shit there for you. It's worth it. Exclamation point PC Discord in my chat. Discord in Six's chat for you to join the Poker Coaching Discord. Where there's AMAs every month, there's hand history rooms, there's giveaways, there's all that good stuff. Sixes, what's up, man?
What's up, Toe Army Sixes Mafia? What up, Reginald? I think I got like 2 or 3 people in here. What's good, fam? Toe Army was good. Poker coaching in the chat. We missed last week. We were playing live pokers, which was interesting and fun. It was actually fun. So, yeah, live poker. What's that?
It was fun to get wrecked as a 90% favorite.
Nah, you already know how it is. There's no shot I'm winning that hand.
Big one bullet.
Yeah, 1 fucking bullet, dead.
That sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
Poker coaching in the chat for you to get into the giveaway, guys, while we're shooting the shit, guys. Poker coaching in the chat. Sixes, tell them how this shit works.
I mean, if there's nobody in either one of our channels right now who's early who doesn't know how this shit works. If you get picked and you don't know how it works, come on now. Ask one of us. We got you. Play your best.
It's
Play
like
your best. That's my advice.
The laziest dog shit intro. Dog shit.
Yeah, dude.
Welcome.
Everybody in here knows what the shit is, right?
We're back. What's up, Bruce? Hollywood. Praying Gaming. What?
I want to be professional, but let's keep it real. Everybody here knows.
Professional is a stretch.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real.
Let's just keep it real. Just do your best. Play the hand if your name is called, and if you win, you get $5. That's keeping it real as possible. What up, Praying Gaming? Put him in. Well, go ahead, put poker coaching in chat. You will win.
My mic is popping.
You won. See how easy it is? All right, I'm ready to roll. Your mic is you're muted. I can't even hear you. Your mic's gone now. Nope, he gone. I don't know what you just
Better?
did. You broke. Yep, you're back.
Yeah, it's popping, they're saying. So I was trying to, I reset it.
Yeah,
Let me
I
know
told
if
you that when we were talking earlier. It cut out on me when we were talking before this multiple times.
Oh, I put another USB extender on it and it might be fucking up my mic. Let me know if that's
Yeah.
better.
It's better now. It hasn't popped once. So,
Okay.
all right, we're ready. Praying Gaming, you win.
Woo.
I have no time to beg or like you won. You're here.
He got an easy ride this time.
Who he
We
got?
got a fish in the game. It's drugs.
Oh shit, Lester Drugs, the legend.
Drugs. He gets a walk. All right, let's what's the next quiz available here? You just want to do 1648?
Hey, I can't even see the question yet. My shit's loading. Deuterino with the 33 months.
Oh shit.
Thank you, buddy. I miss you, man. Thank you so much for that 33
haven't
months.
talked to Brian
Hope everything's going
forever.
well. You know damn well he's crushing a life game. He's too smart not to.
You ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, 1648.
Yep.
Did you push play?
Yeah, it's just slow as shit.
We
It's going.
have ace 6 of diamonds in the low jack seat, playing 750, 1500 blinds. Folds to us. Should we fold, call, raise to 4,000, or raise to 6,000?
I mean, is there? What do
Nah,
you-
both of them are going 4,000. They're experienced and play a lot of poker. Nothing really to say here. Open the
Yeah.
ace suited.
yeah,
Don't
I mean,
fold it.
first in from the low jack, 100% frequency open with the suited ace. Probably all. I mean, not probably all. Every single one of them you're opening.
I mean, they're both
So-
min raising, so.
I don't
It's
even know.
possible.
He needs to like. This is a snap. This. So let's do this.
All right, moving on.
Yep.
We definitely want to play this hand. This is a spot where we're going to play every suited ace. If we pull up the GTO chart,
Call.
you will see that is the case. Do your best to reference the charts when you can, when it's allowed, wherever you're playing, and just make sure you are not making any blunders. And right here you see every suited ace is very clearly played from the low jack seat, right? If you are under the gun, you should still play it. There's really just like no spot where you are folding the ace-x suiteds. And I would tell you just, play all of them from every position. When it folds to you, and you'll be perfectly fine. Some people think, oh man, it's just a weak ace though. But it turns out when you're playing deep stacks, all suited aces are quite good. I mean, let's look at 25 big blind poker. 25 big blinds deep, you see. From all positions, it's going to be similar enough, right? So easy shortcut here is all scenarios, when they fold to you, play any suited ace. I mean, I realize under the gun folds ace-2 suited, which means probably ace-3 suited is marginally profitable, but you should probably raise slightly wider than the GTO charts recommend, because people are not going to 3-bet as much as GTO recommends, right? So we're raising this hand every time. You do not want to have a limping range from this position. You could raise bigger to like 6,000 if you
Hear
want,
that rage
but
now?
I don't see any good players doing it, so I'm going to presume it's probably not a good strategy. Let's make a standard 2.5 or 3 big blind raise in this scenario. Big blind calls, queen 9-8 with a diamond. Big blind checks. Should we check, bet 3,000, bet 6,000, or bet 10,000.
Reginald, wait a minute. Before he says anything else, he said he's never seen any good players limp, this spot. He hasn't seen you play, so you could be the exception.
That's right.
See?
He doesn't know about that Al game.
He doesn't know about that Reginald game, though.
Oh,
but
I was in my stream a couple streams ago, just making me die. I was laughing so hard.
Legend.
Everything's coming up, Al. What are we doing here? King, Queen, 9-8, big blind defend. We got a diamond, we got an over, we got a shitty backdoor.
3K over here.
Drugs going 3K. Bruce going 3K. Contrast going 3K. Check for ship it to me.
The Joker of Poker is checking this spot on this board.
We got a few checks over here too.
Leaning towards the delay c-bet, I presume. Feels like a standard c-bet. We have all sets. They don't. We have top. Okay.
Lots of checks. Lots of 3Ks too. It's a pretty even mix.
Yeah, we just see a 3K and a check. What is Drugs doing?
Drugs checking. Oh, I'm sorry. Drugs going 3K. My bad.
As is Praying Gaming.
Yeah, I think this is one of those boards where we just have a pretty good advantage here, and we still see bet pretty much range, right? On Queen 9-8.
Yeah, I mean we have Jack 10 off in our opening range here. It's unfortunate because they're going to continue a lot. I wonder if we ever use the big sizing, but probably not with this hand. I wouldn't check this personally. We're just going to end up folding too many turns. We could still fold out air. We can find barrels on turn. But then I feel like Jonathan in this quiz might check it for some reason and delay or just check call. I feel like that might happen, but I would bet. Okay.
Jonathan, when you're studying later and watching our stream to get better, you heard it. You heard it here.
No, I don't know. We'll see. I wonder if he will. But let's go ahead and go 3K and see what JL does or thinks about this spot. I clicked. 6, big size.
I think we probably just want to bet with our entire range here.
Yeah,
I realize we are going to get called
not
a
this
decent amount of the time. But this is a spot where we have a lot of nut hands, right? I'm going to definitely raise stuff like Jack 10 suited for sure. Maybe not raising the Jack 10 offsuit. If you look at the chart here, you see that it's raised most of the time. Like I mentioned, if a hand is raised most of the time, I'm probably going to raise it every time. But if we have every Jack 10 offsuit, this is definitely a spot to bet because we have lots of 2 pairs, lots of straights, etc. So is this included in every hand? I think the answer is yes. I think we also want to bet on the bigger side here because our opponent's range connectivity is going to be pretty high. You want to start applying a lot of pressure to hands like 8-7 or 9-5 suited, right? If you bet small, it's just going to make easier decisions for your opponent on the turn in the river because they're not going to feel anywhere near as much pressure. So I think we want to bet on the bigger side, like 6,000, compared to a smaller bet like 3,000. Even though we're betting with our entire range or almost all of our entire range, we want to go on a bigger side because we have all the nuts and our opponent's range connectivity is pretty good. We bet 6. They call. Turns a 7 of diamonds. And the opponent checks. Should we check, bet 6,000, bet 13,000, or bet 20,000?
Yeah, it's interesting. I definitely would size up on this board with a lot of hands. I didn't think we size up with all of our hands. Be interesting to check that, but yeah, definitely betting.
Oh yeah, I'm betting a lot. I mean, it feels like we were gonna mix some sizings. It feels like some of maybe my king 10s and the hands I would use some bigger bet sizing with, kind of blocking that. Like
my queen X too, I would size up on this board a lot.
Yeah, for sure. He's still calling his 2 pairs. He's still calling his straights. 13K, Reginald says.
Yeah, we got a couple of 13s in here. What's up, Oliver Poker? Ship it to me checking again.
What do you think here, Joker of Poker? Said check on the street. What are you doing here?
I said check again. They actually went 4K on the flop.
Praying Gaming, what do you like here, buddy?
13 for Meatball.
We size up narrows.
Drugs going 13.
13s.
13's for everybody.
And trench checking, realize equities. Check for me. A lot more check. Damn, all checks over here. Raging Al going 13. I wouldn't have done this to myself.
This is Al?
No. Raging Al is going 13, and everybody else here checking.
We got a lot of 13s and 2 checks. Kep says, still get better to fold. So I'm betting. We also get a bluff ace high with the interaction of the board.
Damn, this is interesting. I can't say I don't.
I mix here, I think. Is that what you're going to say?
No, I mean, I'm not like this deep effective. Are we going to really bet fold our equity here? Checking just. Man, our ace side probably doesn't need. Can we go going small? It's either like 13 or check, man.
Yeah, I mean, I check here a lot. One of the things, it's one of those weird things where we did pick up equity, but
I go
that 7
here.
like connects with their continuing range pretty good, right?
I mean, it's a better card for their range, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we pick up a lot of equity. Yes, we still have the jack tens and stuff in our range and hands like that. But it's
a bunch of 2-pair and pair and draw combos and some straights, right?
But the solver does like to bet when we pick up equity as well, and it would use a big sizing. So I would be conflicted here, and I would probably like lean on just making an aggressive mistake more often than not. Especially with this much equity where I'm not even folding to a check raise. I don't give a shit, right? So I'd probably go 13.
It was one of those spots where I'd probably check more than I bet, but I definitely bet at a good clip.
Aggressive mistakes. We're going to check, though.
Let's another good point. We sized up when they call, too, which kind of like narrows their range to things where this really helps them.
This is a really good card for their range. Yeah, maybe checking and not getting blown off this equity. But the problem is I'm not getting blown off this equity. That's the problem.
So there's no concern.
Probably too much. Yeah, so I'm like, guess I got to put in more now. And see
let's find out. I wouldn't be surprised if he bets. Let's find out.
All right, let's do it.
This is an interesting turn because we are going to be running into some 2 pairs that are probably just not going to fold. That said, we definitely have all the nuts in our range still, right? So given we have all the nuts in our range and hands like sets that definitely want to value bet and hands like aces and ace queen that probably still want to value bet, I think we want to bet polarized, which means we're going to be betting with our best made hands, our best draws, and some junky draws. I think junky draws are pretty clearly stuff like king jack. Any hand with the jack, really, that we have. Well, any hand that's not paired with the jack. So probably ace jack and king jack probably want to bluff. Ace 10, king 10 probably want to bluff. And then some flush draws probably want to bluff. If we do bet and we get raised, it's a pretty rough spot, but we are going to try to spike on the river most likely. Unless the opponent rakes a gigantic raise. So yeah, I think this is a nice spot to bet this hand. In this scenario, you always want to make sure that if you bet and get raised, you can continue. So you don't necessarily want to bet too big, like 20,000. Because if you bet 20,000 here and your opponent raises, it's probably going to be all in, right? And you really, really, really don't want to get check shoved all in this spot because we have a hand with a lot of equity. So I think in this spot, we want to bet somewhere like half pot or 2/3 pot. I don't think we want to go 6,000 though. Because if we go 6,000, we're just going to get called every time. That said, if we do get called every time, we're probably going to have a lot of fold equity on the river. So I suppose I don't hate a 6,000 bet, but I think in this scenario, because we are going to be betting pretty polarized, just like good queens and better, and draws, we probably want to bet on the bigger side, like 13,000. I do go 13. Opponent calls. River's a 2 of clubs, and the opponent checks. Should we check? Bet 13,000, bet 28,000, or go all in?
Well. Now what?
I have thoughts.
Yeah, we gotta see what the crowd's doing. Joker of Poker, thank you for that follow. Really appreciate that.
What are you guys' thoughts?
Damn, cats are just 28K in that piece.
The army shook. Jam, says Bruce.
You sized up again. You got called again.
He even cat jammed it.
Cat yams. Oh, shit. This line, I'd say rip, but you're blocking his call cards.
Drug says 28K trying to fold out his 9X, his 8X, and that had straight draws. Lots of 28Ks. And fuck. Contrast curse. Curse and then tanking on it. Get up what they call two kind of large bets, says Kep, would bluff some 10X combos.
You're blocking a card you want him to have here,
That's
which
fine.
is a busted flush draw. Have worse hands here to bluff with. He called 2 streets, never folding a queen. We have some showdown, lean, check. Feels bad though. Deuterino checking. 2x pot fold, 7 bets. I hate it, but I feel like you have to try to buy the pot with 28K. Feels like. So I'm seeing mostly 28Ks, some sheepish give ups, which some people think Ace High has some showdown here. I think it's dead. Yeah, Praying Gaming. What are you doing here again? I'm sorry. Let me make sure.
What am I doing?
I'm either ripping or folding. Praying.
Drug's
Gaming
going
says.
28K.
Okay, okay.
Hey, it's Space Time Radio. What's up?
Praying Gaming says, "Fuck it, rip." Ah, I love it so much.
Shrug and put it in because it's Jonathan's money. Fuck it.
I mean, if I'm playing very well and aggressive here, I think I'm ripping every time. But
Here's my thought. Like, when we think about what he's continuing with, like, we want him to be continuing with diamonds, we block that. We want him to be continuing with straight draws, the 6 blocks some of that. So, like, we block a ton of what is continuing with.
But we're
we sized up
unblocking
twice, which puts him more pair heavy, no?
well, yeah, I mean, yeah, but at the same time, we're still unblocking some stuff. We may be able to get folds from that would call twice. The 9 10s, the 10 8s, the 10 7s. We're not blocking. Not having a 10, it's kind of I think he calls twice with Queen 10 and finds a fold on the river. Potentially in some cases, even though he probably
You're
calls
trying
when
to get
he
top pair to
finds.
fold. What?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is a 10K. We find a trip here, but it feels like 28K just doesn't do it for me. I'm either ripping or checking.
White flag.
We got a bet, but this is a bad bluff combo, I believe. Having this blocking a 6
And diamonds.
the backdoor diamond draw we're blocking as well. Yeah, I mean, rip some and check. 28K feels like a torch. Why does 28K feel like you just set that money on fire to me?
20K I don't think is enough. Like, I think
It's not.
the difference is that this is a 10K
Especially
buy-in,
Jay.
right? So, like, in your 1650, whatever the fuck, like, they're just going to call 2/3 pot bet. Like, they just are, right? Or 50%, 60%, whatever that is.
I guess we just waved the white flag mostly. I mean, I'm acting like I wouldn't just fucking check here and fire my cards into the muck when I get called twice when I bet big. But if I have the heart, I would jam here, but it's probably a bad combo.
Broker says, let's play jam. Get it
The 28K does look so strong because it looks like you want to get called, right? All right, we're ripping. Let's go.
All right, 28K press.
Please rip.
Oh, we have a fun one here.
Oh, 28.
We
I
have
like the rip.
a hand that I don't necessarily think needs to bluff. Notice that the opponent does have a 10
Yet he
or
bet 28K.
a jack.
He
They
likes
happen
it.
to call the turn, make a loose call. We win, right? Which is clearly great for me. The opponent could also have a hand like a6 that decided to splash around on the flop, a6 of spades, and then maybe call the turn. So we're chopping against that. The problem, though, is the opponent could also have a hand like 10-9 or 10-8 or king-8 or 7-6, all of which I lose to, right? Ugh. So I think if I had a hand like king 10 or king jack, it's a pretty mandatory bluff because I don't win against busted draws ever. But with this hand, I'm not so sure.
I guess he does beat
Same thing
king
with like
jack,
ace jack or
king
ace
queen.
10. I think those are probably not
king jack,
necessarily
king jack.
auto bluffs either. So I don't know. This is a tough one. You always want to make sure you're not blocking your opponent's auto folds. And some of the auto folds here are going to be stuff like ace 10, which we block, ace jack, which we block, flush draws, which we block. So this is like not a good bluffing hand. Just like thinking it through, this is probably not a particularly great hand to bluff with. The problem, though, is the opponent's going to have a whole lot of hands like random 9s and 8s that will probably fold to a river bet. Now, if you think your opponent will not fold a 9 to a river bet, then bluffing the river becomes way worse. But I think if you make a big bet here, like 28,000, or maybe even all in, I think you're going to be able to get hands like a 9 to fold. I would be a little bit cautious going for the all in because a lot of good players will just check call flop and turn with Jack 10 looking to trap you, or with 2 pair looking to trap you. Some players will even like check call flop and turn and river even if you shove with a hand like Queen Jack or Queen 10 because they block the straight, which is what you're very clearly representing. So I think an all in is probably better with a hand like King Jack or King 10 because then you block their straights, right? So interesting spot. I'm not sure what we're supposed to do here. I got to imagine if we're going to bet, we want to bet big, but I also don't hate checking. I realize when we check, we lose a lot, and it's always annoying when they show us like 8-6 and we lose. But I think this is a spot where checking's at least viable. I don't know what the right play is here. Either check or bet 28,000. I have to imagine.
Where's Justin?
Fuck it. This is.
We let it go check. Definitely, by the way, if you're playing live poker, try to make reads on your opponents. I realize this is a $10,000 tournament, so who knows what the reads are worth because most players in $10,000 tournaments aren't making obvious mistakes with their mannerisms. But if you think your opponent's like always going to call you or mostly going to call you, then obviously don't bluff. And if you think they look as if they're trying to make you not bet, then you should probably make a big all in. So anyway, figure out your opponent's tells, and that will obviously be beneficial. Check though this time, and like I said, this is probably fine. I think if I had to pick the quote-unquote right play, it's probably just to go for the bluff, even though I don't really love the spot because of our exact cards. So I think 28,000 is probably better than check, but who knows which one is actually ideal. Anyway, 9-6. One of these annoying hands that would have folded to a big bet, and the opponent gets the pot.
Yeah. You feel like it's going to be that, but half the time it's going to be something that you're dead against as well, right? Like sometimes he's going to have this 9-6, 9-10, 10-8, and then other times he's just going to have the Queen Jack, the 2 pairs, the straight. So
where was Justin? Where did you just take that 15th or whatever? Madrid? No.
Monte Carlo.
Monte Carlo. Justin was in Monte Carlo, so he couldn't run this hand for Justin. For JL. JL was like, I don't know what to do on the river.
Yeah.
Justin wasn't here to run my Pio Sim.
But I think JL made a lot of very, very good points in this hand and some observations to look out for and some things. So this was a very good hand. We got a 29 for that. What did drugs do?
34 for drugs.
He still got it.
You got fucked on the flop, but 10s across the board otherwise.
Oh, we got perfect on the flop, pre-flop, and then just like everything else was just right.
He should have asked me, Kep. I would have run the Sims for Uncle Jonathan. I'd have hooked you up, JL.
Well played, Yee, my friend.
I find it interesting, too, that he had the same analysis similar to me, where I was like, dude, the 6 is bad, we have diamonds, but he still preferred betting. I wonder how many points checking got.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
If we're looking at Pio, it would be sweet.
Not too rusty. No, of course not, drugs. You're a legend.
Cat Jam.
Oh.
Is this how it is? Get in there with the Cat Jams in chat. If you are interested in competing in the next round,
snuck it in on me.
We give away $5 if you are out there new, chilling. You want to get in there and compete, get your ass in there, Seabass. What up, Trent? What up, Chuck? Good to see you.
Oh, you want to pick a quiz while we're waiting?
Flush. What's up, fam? Excuse me?
Want to pick a quiz while we're waiting?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's see what we have. It's going to take me a second for the quizzes to load.
They're pretty open from 1642 up. I try when you're not here to do the ones down below.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, we got a lot of options. Still no Faraz. You will be missed, Faraz quizzes. You will be missed. Let's do this Bellagio 10K 5 Diamond 1640.
Got it.
Yeah, let's just get a little bit better, Trent. This stuff can't hurt. We're talking poker. It can't hurt us. It just makes us a little bit better, right? So we all love the game. Let's just talk a little bit about poker, think through these situations, and get better. It's fun.
You always say, like, if you're going to fuck up a hand, like, this is the place to lose.
Yeah, it's free. You lose. I mean,
get better.
It's not only free, and you can just get win a giveaway as well. So We can get shipped a couple bucks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's go ahead and roll it. What's up, Richie?
Meatball coming in for the army and trying to take out the mafia.
You got meatball in there
Yeah,
again?
we're gonna try and shut you
Every
out.
week with the meatball. This cat. Hey, first time viewer with the run good, Richie.
What up, Richie? Welcome.
Welcome, man. If you don't know what's going on, we're gonna pick this quiz. We're gonna play through this quiz. If you would just tag me with a response on how you would play the hand given the options. If you outscore the player in toe stream, at the end of it, you win $5. Just whisper me and I got you. Eventually. Let's do it.
Rigged. All right, let's do it.
All right, in this hand, we're in the big blind. We have Ace Jack offsuit. It's going
We
to
got
the
this
button,
quiet.
who's a very, very good reg, who has about just over 40 big blinds. They make it 1,600. And the small blind goes all in for 16,800. Maybe it was 17,000. So about 21 big blinds. We have Ace Jack offsuit in the big blind. Should we fold? Should we call? Should we go all in?
So, don't say anything. We've looked at these spots 1,000 times, I think now. All right, cool. What are you guys doing? Button open. What is this? 20 big jam in the small blind, and we are in the bigs.
Right away, it says fold and then jam. Right in my chat.
Richie's folding.
Meatball folding.
Regional fold. A wreck just ripping as well. All folds. Fold,
I mean,
fold,
it's a
folds.
rip for 20 bigs though.
No, wait a minute. Everybody in my chat folded. Richie, the man of the hour, folded. The Joker of poker in all caps, all win.
Meatball folded.
Meatball folded
Drugs
as well?
all in.
Okay, wait a minute. That's it? Meatball folded?
Yep.
And
Nitty kept folded.
Richie folded. You guys want to keep going? Anybody else? All in folds, call.
Bruce jamming.
Tough one. A queen, definitely a call. Ace 10 a fold. Trent says another full SC nut flush folding. Don't know if it's a rack at the top of their range. Dave's all in. I'm still just letting him go because I want to give people an opportunity and I want to see how population thinks of this spot. It's more folds than all ins right now over here. Is it more folds than all ins over there?
Fold all in, fold all in, call all in, and a crap.
Reginald said, I'd rather have 8-9. It's 40 effective, which is jam versus bunny. Run it. YOLO. Cool. It's on us, Toe. What are you doing?
Either jam or call.
Your mic popped again. You're gone.
Is it gone?
You're back now.
I would. I'll fix the cable in a second. Either call or all in. Is fine with me. I was all the way all in until someone said call, and then I realized we can call and then potentially fold at a 42.
Ever
But
fold.
jamming is standard.
I mean, it's not even. This is a fist pump snap all in, right?
Yeah.
Dude, his 3-bet jamming range, even a Rex to a button open, the good rag's opening 50 to 55% of hands on the button. The small blind is still going to rip king, queen, ace, jack, ace 5, ace deuce suited, all the worst aces, all of them suited, ace 10. You can never, ever fold here. It's an automatic 100% snap jam.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
it.
disagree. I don't disagree. The only reason why I think calling is okay is because it's 20 fold, like 22 bigs or whatever. 20
All these
bigs,
other
so-
guys have 100. Fuck these other blinds. We got 40 effective. He's dead. I mean, we're running it versus this. This
I guess
20
that's true.
is
Can't fold.
yeah, it's over. I mean, I am so happy to get the money in. I'm not even a little bit feared of this. I'm ecstatic to get this spot in. Right? I mean, watch. All right, you want to fold here? Watch Matt says, you want to fold here? Be sick with it.
Let's do it.
Be fucking sick with
Time
it.
to find out.
Watch
Nitty
this
Matt.
shit. Well, watch me spaz out yet again. Here we go. please, for the love of God.
I don't think this is that close here. I think this is an all-in. I think the reason I made this a quiz is I think people just fold way too much.
Listen to this,
And
man.
they talk about, oh, well, I still have a player behind, which matters here, but let's keep in mind, the button's going to be opening 50% of hands. The button is not going to call our all-in here very often. And some of the hands that call, like pocket 8s, pocket 9s, even maybe pocket 7s, like we're doing pretty well against. And we are just smashing this range from the small blind. The small blind could have, tons of worse ace-x. They could have king-jack suited, king-jack offsuit. We're just going to be a 70-30 favorite here a ton. We have a little bit of extra dead money here. Very clear all-in, which we do. And the button folds, which is good. We don't want the button to call. And we get it all in here. And, yeah, just make sure you're, don't overemphasize like protecting your chips. A lot of people like to talk about tournament life and protecting their chips, where in reality the best way to protect your tournament life or protect your chips is to win more
collecting chips.
So passing up on these types of very high EV spots, I think, is very detrimental to a lot of people's poker game.
You hear that shit? You cannot fold. I mean,
Nope.
It's just too strong. Don't be shook. There was more folds in chats than calls, so we want to make sure we're studying these spots. And these spots are very, very important. You're not protecting your stack, like you said. We're playing too tight and griefing it. So we gotta get in there.
Yep. I'll try and fix the mic cable, guys, while the quiz is going on. Let me know if it's better.
But it looks like we both have to do they have to do another one. Let's give the first timer another opportunity. We don't want to give them a one question quiz.
I'm trying to get
At least on my end.
You don't want them to snap go somewhere else. Fuck this shit.
Yeah, like, man, this is horse shit. Get one shot. Yeah, let's do it enough. What did he have? No idea.
We could change it up and do 1644, the circuit ring that we've been doing with Tristan.
Oh, that's fine.
Sick multi-way spot. This will be a fun one.
Oh, yeah, let's put him in hell. Multi-way action, live tournament with 5 players. Let's go.
No, this
I'm
is an
ready.
online circuit event.
Oh, online segment. All right. 1644, correct?
Coaching?
Yep.
Another quiz
Let's
from
do
a
it.
$600 MTT. All right, we get under the gun min raising off 35 or so big blinds, and we got the 2 7s on the hijack. What are we doing? Are we just pitching it to the dealer, folding? Are we calling? Are we raising to 18.5 or are we raising to 28,000? What do you think?
All right, what are we doing? Face in action. Call, 3-bet. Fold to the early open.
Richie with the 2.5. Everybody else calling.
Everybody calling in my chat. Oh, contrast, 3-betting. There it is.
Call.
And then lots of calls. $94 bigs. We're deep as hell. Although our opponent only has 34.
34 effective there. Kind of curious. Oh, PS. Call. 1 3-bet, and that is the man of the hour, the first time viewer.
It was a typo, praying. The keys are right next to each other.
So all calls and 1 3-bet. Richie 3-betting, all calls. What's going on over there? In the
All calls, 1 3-better.
Same here.
Who's your 3-better?
The man of the hour, the first time viewer, the man of the
Oh, contrast to my stream. I was trying to see if it was the same person. Contrast to my stream is out there on Ray's Island with him.
What size?
18.5.
Yeah, that's the
Excuse me.
size. We got 3-betting over here. Yeah, this is a pure call.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we might 3-bet this on some frequency against later position opens, but when it's earlier opens, we tend to 3-bet those less and more polar, right? So call. Yeah, call.
I'm not. Yeah, turn one. I feel you. I'm not mad at the 18-5 either. It's
I'm
like
not that either because then you
it's
don't get
like aggressive
squozen.
mistakes.
Well, also you don't get squozen as much, right?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, you can't. I think it's pure like at these like at. I mean, if we're just saying 40 effective, I know we don't do a lot of flatting versus EP in the middle here a lot, especially in these middling stacks we mix in a lot of 3-bets. But I feel like these 7s are going to be called. But let's see where Tristan thinks we're going to go 18-5 and see what he thinks about 3-betting as well.
Squozen. You haven't heard squozen? That's 6s. I can't claim that. That's all 6s.
Yeah, I think I say that dumb shit sometimes.
You said squozen? Exclamation point. All right, cool. We're calling. Let's find out.
Yeah.
All right, well, if we 3-bet in this spot, I don't love it because if we get shoved on, then our hand has absolutely no value. We're never getting under the gun to shove 5s or 6s here. So 3-betting is kind of out of the question. If we wanted to 3-bet as a bluff, I would much rather have like an ace-3 suited or like a king-6 suited or something. Queen-jack offsuit, whatever. So this is just a pure call in this spot. I don't like folding either. This hand's too strong. If we had deuces, 3s, 4s, then sure we could fold, but 7s plus, we're just going to see a flop in position. So easy call. Small blind calls, big blind calls. So we are now multi-way with position. That's good, but not great multi-way. And we get this flop, this 3-6-5 flop. Under the gun bets. So this is a really key component of the hand, in my opinion. Under the gun betting into 3 players. What do we do now? Do we fold? Do we call? Do we raise to 24-5 or do we raise to 38,000?
I guess the multi-way title wasn't hit. Yeah,
it was a hit.
Yeah. Call at this point, Richie says.
This is weird. This is super weird.
Yeah, this is actually like, yeah.
No quads. This game is hard without quads.
Trent's calling.
Yeah, everyone calling here.
The second choice is to bet 24-5.
Meatball calling.
Maybe raise, but definitely call. Okay. Some people considering some raising, but everybody thus far just calling. Clear call from turn one.
Lots of calls. And, there's a raise. Ship it to me going 35 or 38.
It says it needs protection. We got a gut shot. We got 6 outs. And we got an overpair.
Everybody pretty much calling.
Rather have calls behind. Yeah, we got calling ranges behind in the blinds, all right? All right, cool. Richie is calling.
So is Meatball.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, what else can you do? Raising is griefing.
God.
You
It's
raise here, the blinds
where...
still have sets, straights. They can flop. I mean, yeah. We can't raise.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things where half of me wants to... I'm calling, first of all. But half of me wants to punish this guy for c-betting when he's literally got no c-bet here into 4 people or 3 people.
Well,
on a board that doesn't hit him very much, but...
You know what that means. Why would somebody do that?
Because people over c-bet.
No, but when
But
they
generally, he
should
should be
say that.
He should be stronger.
No, but people over c-bet. But yeah, what is his hand class that might be c-betting into board like this?
Yeah, he should be stronger because he's betting into 3 people.
Yeah, so I mean, I think people just do this with a very strong range. So what happens is we get better to call and worse to fold. Like if he is just doing like a c-bet here with like ace high or king high, which I think is rare. And then we have strong ass hands that are just going to call and then everything else will fold.
Yeah.
Which you think you get protection, but you also have these guys behind. Let's go ahead and call, not waste time.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So the reason for us to raise here would be to bluff, try to apply pressure, and try to get to more streets unimproved. We could maybe get them to fold some hands out. But that's pointless, right? We have an overpair. A 4 gives us a straight. Maybe we have the best hand. So there's really no point in turning our hand into a bluff or trying to build a big pot here. in position. So we can't raise, we can't fold, we just have to call. And we also need to be a little concerned about the big blind and the small blind because the big blind has a wide range, the small blind has something, so we're not guaranteed to just like call here and that be that. But we do have a hand that can call a raise since we do have a gut shot. So yeah, it's just hard to play this anything but a call. The small blind also calls and the big blind folds. Turn is the ace of spades. They both check to us. Now what should we do? Do we check? Do we bet 20,000 or bet 45,000?
This is an awkward, interesting hand.
In the backseat, checks through. What do you guys want to do here? Anybody want to bet? Maybe get some hands to fold, get to realize the equity for our price. You also can fear getting check raised, or do we want to just check and realize? Do you want to bet what size? Pretty cool spot. Good old interesting multi-way spots. Shit is tough. Check, check, check. All checks. We
All
decided
checks.
not to 18-5 pre.
This does suck. Ship it to me.
Let's see a river term. Check. Everybody's checking here thus far.
Me too. I haven't seen
Meatball.
check for meatball.
Check for meatball. Yeah, check for Richie as well. Peanut Flush. What's up, legend? Checking here as well. So nobody betting. Reopening the action to potentially get raised. Kind of sucks. We can just check here and realize it. I think. Ooh, Trent's going 45 using a big sizing as well. If I'm betting, I think I'm only going 20.
Me too.
If I'm ever going to bet here, which I think maybe has some merit because we probably
Me
don't
too.
get check raised all that much. But
And we're really just trying to clean up equity. And
you know what it also
Get heads
does?
up with
It
the
helps
blind.
you bet. It helps you like when you do improve on the river, we can also bet again for value, right? We can even get more value, and we get to show down a little bit more. But it's not 100% certain we don't get check raised, right?
I also think if this guy in the front has ace-x, then he should be checking here a lot when he gets two callers on this board. Right?
Ace high
It's kinda
flush draw
scary.
is checking here. Yep, an ace high flush draw, nut flush draw is getting check raised multi-way. Potentially, I can see that being a thing. But let's go ahead and check. That's what everybody's doing.
Yep.
And see.
All right, so remember what happened in this hand. Under the gun raised. I called, call from the blinds. Under the gun bets into 3 players. On the flop. That's pretty strong if you ask me. Gets called in 2 spots. Now they both check the turn to me. Should I ever be betting here? And I think the answer is no. The small blind could maybe have some
Still has
sets that are
tens,
short
jacks,
blind.
queens
Flop
also.
Could maybe have a hand like
They're
ace
just going to
X
check
of
call
hearts
you and you
that
value
now
on yourself.
picks up a pair. Same with the under the gun player. They could just have a top set of aces. They could have ace king of hearts, ace queen of hearts. So we just need to realize our equity. We just need to check here and hopefully bink a 4 or 7. But we don't need to start betting here and putting more money in the pot when there is a chance we can win without showdown. Now that might be a slow chance. Like under the gun would need like jack 10 of hearts, and this person would need the hand like 6-7 or maybe hearts themselves or what have you. So we're not guaranteed to really have showdown value right now, but we do have some extra equity going in the river, and we need to realize that. So betting would just be pointless here. We would only get called if we're beat, and we wouldn't really be getting much to fold. So with that said, checking is the only play here. The river is a deuce. Small blind checks, under the gun checks, and now what do we do? A 4 makes a straight. They both check to us now on 2 streets. Do we check? Do we bet 45,000 as a bluff? Do we bet 80,000 as a bluff, or do we go all in as a bluff?
Richie Snapchat.
What do you think?
Before Tristan was finished, the man said, "Fuck this, we just checking, right?" So Richie Snapchat.
Check's starting to stream into mine too. Don't turn 7 into a bluff. I mean, I would argue if you bet here, it's probably value. All right, is it a bluff or value if you bet here?
45K at this stack depth. What the? I would It's quite possible. You can't say it's value, man. I don't think. Did Meatball already go?
Check. think going for a set with them value is too thin.
He checked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, because I think one of the issues we run into here is we replay the hand is like, I think under the gun could still have an overpair that's weaker than an ace that he just won't fold to one bet given this line.
Yeah, that's
and
the
then
one
we're
problem
kind
I
of
have.
turning it into a bluff. I mean, I guess unless we're turning it into a bluff, we're not betting for value. So do we want to bluff to try to make kings fold, queens fold, or something like that? We would think the small blind would bet out into this river with some straights. Maybe they have a few traps, but
Yeah, I guess my value target would be like the 6, right?
So
I think the undergun's cap now praying.
Yeah, I mean, you have some showdown. You probably wouldn't have pot enough, but do you think like here, like we ever make kings, queens, and then some stuff like that ever folds? And if you do, you need to go all in, and the small blind might still have a frequency of checks. I guess this would just showdown enough for me to just check, but I could explore some other options to turn into a bluff, but it just feels unnecessary with this hand. Unnecessary as hell with this hand, right? Like the check. I'd never bet the 45K Richie says.
No.
I mean, this hand went
yeah.
Oh, he likes.
so interesting to really
Wait a minute.
He likes to go all in.
and the
Yeah, I mean,
reason
if you think
is,
about it, I'm sorry.
I think
If you
we
think
could
about
go
it,
for the
like,
spot.
We don't have any
Now,
forward.
the one question I ask myself is,
I would use a
how
worse
often
worse
is a small
hand.
blind or under the gun going to be checking a strong hand? And when I
Missed
say
hearts.
strong, I guess I'm really worried about 2 pairs or sets. And I don't think the small blind's ever going to have 2 pair. 5-6 suited is going to just raise the flop. Maybe they have a hand like ace-6 suited, like ace-6 of clubs, ace-6 of diamonds. That's about it. They could have like an ace-5 suited too, like ace-5 of hearts, ace-5 of clubs. So those are the hands I worry about there. Same with under the gun. Like if under the gun flopped a set, would they just keep betting the turn? Probably. So I think we can rule sets out here. We could probably rule sets out of the small blind because sets I think will raise pretty often on the flop when they bet and we call. So can we bluff? Like, and what would be a good bluff? I think 80,000 is a really cool bluff. We bet over the pot to maybe get an ace to fold, to maybe get a 2-pair type hand to fold. But I think the best bluff here would be going all in. I think going all in is the best bluff here. We block 4-7, which is a nuts. We can totally have 2 4s here to play it this way.
That's it.
And I don't think we really win on the river. Like, so I'm
That's
torn
fair.
here between checking. I give checking 8 points. I think, hey, look, there's a small chance both these players could have hearts or a 6x type hand. I think there's a small chance we win on river.
I do
Small
think we
chance.
went over.
I really think under the gun has a big hand to bet 3 of us. So with that said, I'm trying to find a way to win the pot. And I think the best way to win the pot is to do a big bluff. And I think that would be going all in here. We could credibly represent that we have a straight. I don't think we're credibly representing a set because we probably just bet our sets on the turn. So it's a really polarizing spot where like we just have it or we don't. But with all that said, I ended up just pussing out and checking. But looking back on this spot,
This
I
is
think it would be
3x
pretty cool
pot
to maybe
jam
just fight
on the
it all
river.
in as a bluff.
3x pot.
Now, it's a little dicey betting 3x pot here into 2 players, but you know, if they're only calling
Results
with a 4,
oriented.
then we probably win this hand really frequently. But I check, and we do see that the small blind had ace-8 of hearts, so they did have the ace-x of hearts, and we do see that the under the gun player did have a big hand themselves with 2 jacks. So,
Snapped you.
you know, interesting spot for us when we get to the river on this run out. Like, can we ever do anything? And I think that's the one thing you got to ask yourself. So hopefully this was a good lesson in trying to think outside the box. Tristan Wade, and I'm out.
Just wait, and I'm out. 38 points.
Yes, Hero Call says some solvers do have. Oh, I've seen the 300% pot a lot.
Sure.
I mean, in the solver and stuff like that. But I don't know about multi-way in spots like this. It feels like, I mean, I really like his read of the situation and his intuition of it. And he made some very good points, dude. I mean, at the same time, if I tried this shit on global, I would get called so fucking fast.
By the ace 8 for sure. The jacks.
Snapped!
Jack's our
And
question
it
mark,
is.
and we don't have a lot of 4 in our range. That's the one part I'm like, meh.
You
And I would definitely take this
Iggy
line with like
Dead.
King Queen of Hearts. Like I would definitely take this line with King Queen of Hearts.
It has to be a 6. It has to be a big tournament, like online, live, something where people care, because you do this shit online, the ace is never folded.
Yeah.
On global, you shove rivers for value over pot for sure, but you do this now, you get snapped by this. That's why you do it. What up, D Mo?
38 points.
Global is a poker site. We have 28 points. We got goosed
We did it in America. Goosed on the river.
on a pre-flop. We 3-bet. You remember we 3-bet to 8-5. He hated
Goosed.
that shit with all his heart and soul.
Shit.
Well, he hated it with all his heart and soul. Holy shit. Yeah, Global Poker is an online poker site. It's a browser-based site, Joker of Poker. This shirt that I'm wearing, I stream for it once a week. Cool. New keyword.
New keyword.
I stole the first 2. You can go if you have something.
All right, we'll just do dog jelly.
And new is coming. The old dog jelly.
I try to change it up, but I'm not that creative.
Hell yeah, Richie. Good looking out on that follow, buddy. We do this every Saturday at noon Eastern. It's a lot of fun, man. We've been doing it for a couple of years now. We've had on guests.
Nailed
It's
it.
been tough. It's been tough to get guests and stuff on recently. We're so busy, but
Well, the other problem too is if you're going to the Poker Coaching Discord, !Discord and Sixes chat, !PC Discord in my chat, we've been getting guests every month for an AMA in there, and it's really hard to book for the AMA and book for the study stream. So if you're, want to talk to some of these coaches, we've had Jonathan Little, we had Evan Jarvis, we had Matt Affleck, we had Brad Wilson, we had Tristan Wade. So if you want to get in and talk to these coaches, that's a good place to do it. Also, we're kind of pushing it there right now.
yeah, we host a monthly AMA in the Discord. Like Toe was saying, it's super cool. You can get personal ask these guys about their work ethic, what their past is, how they see the game. I think it's very interesting. Still another minute. Let's pick a quiz. Dog jelly in both chats if you guys want to get in there. Let's go ahead and pick another one. Oops, damn it, I was already there.
1649.
1 second.
Let's work our way up.
1649, the 10K with JL. Let me see.
Can we get Justin on here? We were actually talking about that a couple days ago, Dennis.
Yeah, I'm eventually. I was talking to Justin a couple days ago. I was talking to him in June.
It's been a little hard because, like you said, he was in Monte Carlo, he was in
He
Texas,
travels.
and now the series is coming up. So getting any guests is a little tough right now.
Maybe get him before the series for sure.
Maybe.
We got a lot of Afflecks here, bro, to catch up on. Or maybe you did a few of these. 1649 is cool though. We can do that.
Cool.
River value. Oh, it's river value in a 10K. All right, I'm ready to roll.
Praying gaming.
Ruh-roh.
Meatball messaged me how to Venmo you, and it was $10 too because Drugs passed the $5 over.
Chuck Nola. Affleck.
Yeah, it's tough being a A-lister there, Bruce, and being famous. He's jet setting all over the world with his hot girlfriend making millions. It's a good life to be Justin.
All right. Cool. I am ready. Chuck, you know what time it is.
Does Sixes have a YouTube? No, he sucks. But if you want to see this one or from the beginning or any other ones we've ever done in the past, including the times we've had guests, which we've had a lot of them, Greg Raymer, Jesse Sylvia, Ben Andrew, all the coaches, all that stuff, ! YouTube, you can go check that out. Or you can catch Sixes on the Ignition YouTube channel as well.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be putting out a lot more content on the Ignition YouTube channel coming up.
I want to rerun. I could one. Ryan. All in for poker. You're up, buddy.
All right.
No, he sucked. Ready? All
Yes,
in poker. Who do you got?
I'm sorry. I got Chuck Nola. I rolled my shit a while ago.
Chuck Nola. Let's play it.
Let's do it.
Here we are in a $10,000 buy-in Poker Masters tournament. Folds around to the small blind. I am going to presume... Actually, this is not Daniel Legrand, who's in the small blind last time, but I guess they changed the tables around. This is some sort of kid, meaning probably someone about 25 years old who I Do not know well enough to have any sort of real read. Probably loose aggressive, good, strong GTO player. Folds around to him. He limps. Should we check? Raise to 3,000. Raise to 5,000. Or raise to 8,000.
Oh, shit. Here we go, Oliver Poker.
What size? Sick 'em.
A couple of 8Ks right away.
Or some
5K.
checking. What do you guys like? What are we doing here? 5 time. Raise to 5. What up, Day Pass?
Praying came and shook. He cuts out 8K, then he cuts out 15K, then he says, not 5K.
Felice making up her own bets, of course, of course. Wouldn't expect anything else.
Tep says he'd go 4.
Going 8? Okay.
What up, Machine Gun?
Going to 8. Trendsetter. One of a kind. You love to see it. 5K. Hey, Johnny, but always. I enjoy your company, buddy. Let's finish the steady stream strong. All right, checking for Rage now. 5K for everybody, 8K, and a check.
5K for everybody in the army, 8K for contrast.
Cool. Chuck's going 5 though.
So is All In for Poker, I believe. Actually, All In for Poker didn't answer. All In for Poker, what are you doing? I got an oh shit from him. No answer.
Ruh-roh. Get his ass on the shot clock? Now he's there, right?
He said oh shit.
I mean,
What are you doing? Up 5K. Got him.
Dude, why are we going 3.3x and then 5.3x are raise options? I hate these options. Why don't you have to pick one?
Standard's 4,500, right? So 5K, the obvious answer. You don't want to min raise. Never min raising blind versus blind.
A little over 3x. I mean, I would be a hair bigger than this. I guess I'm being nitpicky. 8x feels
way too big.
Just ginormously big. 5x here, and we get to play in a position. So let's just go a little over 3x. It's cool.
Okay. Easy 5.
4K is too small. We're in 2.75. I guess not for all of our hands. Exploitatively, it could be a thing, but I think we want to be a little over 3 here. Make it hurt. All right, let's do it. 5. Make it hurt.
Here, I think we have a very, very mandatory raise.
Oh, the
Definitely
points are
consult
jacked
the
up, but it is 10.
GTO pre-flop charts to see what they recommend. Here we have, let's take a look, big blind versus limp from small blind. You're going to see that you want to raise all of your best hands, including pocket nines, 100% of the time. It would be criminal to not raise the pocket nines. So we raise it up to 5,000. You don't want to raise to 3,000 because, while you're going to get called every time, your opponent's not really making any sort of an error by calling, right? If he has to put in 1,500 to try to win, notice if we min raised, he'd have to put in 1,500 to try to win 7,500. He's not really making any sort of an error by calling. So we want to raise a little bit bigger so he's making an error by calling with all the random junky hands that have 3 outs, right? You don't really care if your opponent wants to call with the King 7 offsuit, right? Or the 6-5 offsuit. So anyway, you want to raise to a size of roughly 3.5 to 4 big blinds. You don't want to go too big, though, because if you go to something like 8,000, then your opponent's going to fold out all the bad hands, which should be a large chunk of their range, and that's them then playing well. Flop comes King 7-5, and the opponent checks. Should we check? Bet 4,000. Bet 8,000, or bet 12,000.
Hey, so you said there's an error with this quiz? I scored 5. Mine says 10 points. He got 10 points on mine for 5.
Oh, mine says 1.
Mine says 10.
This is your answer 5, best answer 5. You get 1 point. I turned it into support so they can check it out.
Oh, yeah, mine is.
It was good, huh?
Raise to 5, score 5, raise to 5K, 10 points and 10 points. So mine is working perfectly. Because I seen you
here.
Oh, weird! I refreshed and it worked.
Yep. Yeah, I was about to type something in there. All right, cool. What size are we? C-betting? Checking. Chuck, my man, redeeming a message with dead points for 4K. I see you.
Okay, cool.
I've seen that glitch before. It fixes itself on the next street when it happens. Yeah, I think I've seen it here before as well. All right, we got all 4Ks here. One, I don't know if that check is old. That check is probably old, Reginald. I'm
What do we do?
Praying game, you got to be just completely jacked on channel points. You could probably just highlight every message from now to the end of time. Got him. All right, cool. 4K for everybody here.
4K, 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 4K. All in for poker, what are you doing? Everything is better with... Oh, that's funny. 4K for Bruce.
They're so cheap, too.
Everybody loves morphine. See, but small with close to range, I think, on ace and king high flops. See you later, Meatball. Thanks for hanging out, buddy.
All right, what did he do? He went 4?
He's lagging.
Oh.
4K.
All right.
4K.
See that? Yeah, you ready?
Yeah, 4K.
Yeah, 4K for sure. Right.
Bet small.
Yep. I did it. You have to just snap.
I think we generally want a continuation bet most somewhat uncoordinated boards, and this board is certainly uncoordinated enough. It'd be even better to continuation bet if it was something like King 7-2, but King 7-5 is still pretty uncoordinated, and I suppose the nice thing about the King 7-5 board is that the opponent's going to have a whole lot of pair of 7s and a whole lot of pair of 5s. So this is a very, very nice spot to go for a frequent small continuation bet. I can be convinced that betting even something like 8,000 could be fine if you think your opponent's going to perhaps like rarely ever raise the 8,000 bet, but I think you're probably not going to get raised all that often in this scenario to begin with, given you have a lot of the good kings and pairs, etc., etc. So it seems like a nice spot to just go for a frequent small bet. Opponent does call, which is fine and good. Turns a jack of hearts, and the opponent checks. Should we check, bet 8,000, bet 16,000, or bet 24,000?
What it do? Barreling the 9s, checking the 9s. Let rock. What's good, my friend? Welcome back.
Check for cap.
I think I might owe you a 5 spot. I'll make it 10 if I do. I'll check my messages. 8K, 8K, 16. No free cards. Richie ain't fucking around. Deuterino with the
16
8 as
for
well.
Brian. 8 for Bruce. Check for Beats. 16 for Dennis.
What are we getting value from by betting exactly for everybody betting? The Joker of poker out here spitting. 8K for Chuck.
8K for All in for Poker.
Felice is checking as well. Yeah, we're let me make sure.
Check for Alagonaut.
Yeah, Chuck's going 8.
So is All in for Poker.
I mean, are we just checking this?
Yeah, we're checking. I mean, we're either way ahead or way behind. Usually, like if we were bluffing, this jack is a good card to bet because it's an overcard to the 7. However, we have amazing showdown value and already beat a 7. So I'm checking.
People just, I think everybody bets here because they just don't want to face like a river decision. And they're scared to be put in hell like by stuff.
Sure.
I mean, this small blind limp call range is wide as shit. So I'm not like, we shouldn't be that afraid of it. I would personally just check here. I mean, it feels like we're turning. You guys have done enough, JL Quiz. What is this hand?
Marginal maid.
A marginal maid hand. Mm-hmm. Do I need to write this on the chalkboard? All right, let's go ahead and bet 8K. But I think he's gonna say check marginal maid hand. Let's see if it happens.
While the opponent should not have too many jacks in their range,
Check 10 points.
they are going to definitely have some kings, right? So if we are going to bet in this scenario, we definitely want to bet on the small side just to try to extract value or make a hand like a 7 or a 5 to fold. Either one's fine, right? If they want to call a small bet, that's fine because we're ahead. If they want to fold to the small bet, that's fine because they're drawing to some number of outs. So I think a small bet is definitely viable. I also think checking back is fine. As you expect to get check raised more often, as you will sometimes experience against good, strong opponents, you should be just a little bit more inclined to check it back. Because if it does go check, you can then just easily call a river bet and probably win some portion of the time, especially enough based on the pot odds. But if you think your opponent will play incredibly straightforward on the turn because perhaps you think that they will always check raise the flop and or turn with a king or better, that means you're really only going to get called when you're losing against a random hand like Jack 10 of clubs. That's probably fine because if you do bet turn, you can let it go check on the river, and that gets you a little bit more value / protection. So I would either check behind in this scenario or bet small. I think either one's fine. You definitely don't want to go for a big bet though, because as you bet bigger and bigger, then we'd start getting called. You're usually going to be against a king or a jack. Because imagine in this scenario, if you bet 24,000, well, a 7 or a 5 is just often going to let it go. I think this very clear marginal made hand, though, is very happy letting it go check. River's a 2 of spades, and the opponent checks.
Bingo.
Should we check, bet 4,000, bet 10,000, or bet 20,000?
This actually gets interesting on the river.
Richie, snap check, raging out, check.
Check for Prime. Check for Dennis.
Let me look at this board. I know what I'm doing. Everybody's check.
Check.
Deuterino's checking.
Check. Check.
Peanut flash to 10, the first bet out there.
Only calling with betters this contrast.
Let me see. Peanuts is get caught by 7, 8. Everybody. So Chuck's checking over here.
Oliver Poker, what are you doing, buddy? I'm waiting for you.
I'm gonna wait before I give my what I think I'll do here.
Sure.
Wait for Oliver to go.
10K.
He goes. Oliver's betting.
All in for poker. 10K.
Good. You got to bet. When he checks the turn after flop goes bet.
Yep.
And he calls, and then the turn goes check.
Yep.
And then the river. He needs to be betting. Like even King X, he might even want to block a jack at some frequency.
Yep.
I think he's going to be ace high, 7x, 5x heavy, and I would always bet if I'm playing well. Like
yeah, he bets a
I'm
king on the
playing
river,
lazy,
so he doesn't have a king. He never gets here with any jack X hands, and so now our hand is top pair. We should bet for value.
Yeah, like I feel like the extra equity distribution, given like what his line is and given his range, and I think like. Sure, some players will slow play king and check it twice in this computer, but he can't count on us to just bet the river. And I think a lot of players are going to check a bet a king at a higher frequency. But we know for certain that they're going to be checking a 7 and a 5, which they'll need to call it something. So I'm always going to be betting here. Sometimes if I think he'll call like really wide, I'll go like 15, 20, but 10 feels cool to always get called by a 5.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
8K is too small. We want to be over half pot or plus when we reopen the action. In my opinion, a lot is what we see in the solvers.
Yeah, you don't generally open for a short, small.
But you know, we have seen in some of the solves, like it does go for a third, but those circumstances are fewer and far between than using half pot plus when we reopen the action on the river. So let's see what JL thinks. We're going to go ahead and check, and we'll do that.
Cool. 10K for all in poker.
Whoops. Check.
From in position, you're going to find that on the river, you usually either want to go for a medium-sized bet.
8 points is good.
Pot or so.
It was
or
an 8.
a big bet.
Check was perfect.
Like 20,000. This hand is definitely not good enough to go for 20,000. which is a size usually reserved for your hands that are almost certainly good or bluffs.
that?
This hand is definitely not almost certainly good because we could easily be against a king or a jack. Now you may say, would my opponent actually check the turn and the river with a king or a jack? Sure, if he's good. From out of position, you have to do a lot of checking in general. So 20,000 is out of the question. 4,000, a tiny bet's also out of the question if your opponent is good. You're going to find that in position, good, strong, fundamentally sound poker essentially never bets tiny when checked to. You can confirm this by checking out our cash game masterclass for deep stack play, and even the tournament masterclass for shallow stack play. You'll see that the end position player in this scenario basically never bets small. If your hand is not good enough to go for a medium or big value bet, it's not good enough to bet for value, period. So either we're going to go 10,000 or check. And I think either play is actually fine, and I think this hand's probably close. As you expect your opponent to bet the river with kings and better, or perhaps check raise the flop with a king, or either check raise the flop with a king or bet the river with a king, that should make you more inclined to value bet. As you think your opponent's a little bit more tricky and trappy, then you should be more inclined to check, because you really don't want to get check raised or even check called here by clearly mostly better hands. If you think your opponent's a bit of a calling station and you think they'll call 10,000 with a 7 or a 5, I do think that is going to be a lot of their range, and I definitely think value betting against those hands would make sense, but it gets a little bit dicey as your opponent gets better and better. So I think this is a close spot for sure, but I think I'd probably just let it go check against a good player. Like I said, though, if the opponent does check raise with all of their kings or bet all their kings on the river, then value betting the river becomes way more reasonable. Check. The opponent shows pocket tens. Ooh, that's a weird one. Let's take a look at small blind strategy real quick. Small blind. Notice pre-flop they should limp sometimes, right? Actually, a lot of the time, 68%. What should they do versus a raise from the big blind, though? I gotta imagine they're going to re-raise this a lot, right? In this scenario, we do see they actually do limp re-raise a large chunk of the time, 66% of the time. But they still do call sometimes. And of course, if the opponent did call, they'd obviously check call flop, check turn, check river. So definitely a hand that could be in a good strong opponent's range. And this time we
it's a 10K as well.
Got fortunate to not lose more money than necessary.
Richie says, why I love to check river. Look at the results oriented. No, I'm kidding. Maybe 8K turn, wins turn, maybe. But yeah.
We also don't put a lot of tens in his range, right? Because tens are usually going to limp raise, right?
Yeah, but I mean, he's also still going to have, like JL thought, like a player like this is probably going to have a King X, some King X. He plays like this as well.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but he gave us no read, so no fair. But we did get a 38. Chuck was out here doing good work. 38.
Oh, we almost smoked you. 36 over here. You got one.
Oh, we got one. Hey, hit me up, Chuck. Congratulations. Way to get one for the Mafia, my fucking dude.
Still a well-played hand.
Get your ass in here to represent.
All in for poker. 2 10s and 2 8s. Solid. Super solid.
Good shit. But yeah, that was a very interesting hand. We probably have time for one more. If that works for you, Toe.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's get a new keyword in there. Good job, Chuck. I didn't want to get blank today. First week back. Let's go with CAC W. I have to see the face. There it is. Get your asses in there. You got it enabled in your channel, right? You still don't have CAC W enabled?
I have all the settings right. It just doesn't work for some reason. I have everything in there right. I've checked it 100 times, and I just can't get it to
You
work.
need me to come and do some tech work for you, buddy?
Yeah. I'll pay you in coaching.
Pay me in coaching. Oh, shit. The jokes. All right, cool. We'll pick another quiz. I kind of want to end with the Matt one. These Matt ones are fire because I know he's coming.
Matt's always good.
And Matt's been doing this thing where he shows his dirty underwear type hands, just like his like his worst hand, and he reviews those. And you can see mistakes he's making on every street, and he talks about them and his thought processes. So his hand histories have been very good lately, in my opinion. We're seeing some CAC W's in the chat. You love to see it in the negative. NRG with the follow. Thank you so much for that follow.
Which Ben Affleck quiz you want to do here?
Let's do. Have you done Queen 7 off 1641.
We did do that one.
Okay.
So
That's
anything
fine.
above that one.
Anybody? Let's.
Oh, there's only one. Oh, two.
Yeah, there's two at the
1652 or 3. Which one?
Let's play King 8 of Diamonds. Looks like a fun hand. Yeah, we love Affleck, man. We actually had a
Kid's
nice
quick
little
with it.
session with him last week. I
I
think.
don't fuck around. I'm quick with the needles.
Had a good study session with Affleck maybe 2 weeks ago. Shit.
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. All right, I'm ready to roll.
Yep. We got Dennis. Dennis always wins.
Dennis is always in there. What the fuck? Day pass. Oh, negative. Why'd you wait so long? You probably would have first take Drake did as well, like
scooped it.
my man Joker of Poker did today. Day pass. You know the deal, my friend. Good luck, man. Make sure to tag me if you could when you respond to how you play the hand. Make it a little bit easier. And I'm ready to go when you are, Tom.
Let's do it.
All right, today's hand, Bellagio, $10,000 5-diamond tournament. We got the King 8 of Diamonds here in the small blind. Cutoff, who's a good high-stakes reg, makes it 2,000. The button calls, King 8 of Diamonds here in the small blind. Should we fold, call, re-raise to 10,000, or go all in?
What are we doing?
Anybody spazzing it in there for all of it? Raising a 10, calling, folding. You can't open shove because there's action in front of you. Hero call poker. You mean you shoved out of position, out of turn? Mix 3-bet and call. I know what you mean, I do. And I have to needle you.
Checked.
Check. Rip it. Open shove if I got the ball.
Call. Monitor's thinking it's a good squeeze. Fold for Dennis.
Keeping it real.
Fold for Cap. Call for contrast. Call for all over poker. So a lot of
Did you say-
calls, 110K, and a fold.
Wait a minute. Did you say fold for Cap?
Fold for
making
Cap,
sure.
fold for Dennis.
Day pass is torn. He's still considering his options. What is anybody else doing? Chuck is folding. Too much equity to reopen the betting. Hero call. Poker is alluding, I believe, to a call.
Or 40 bigs effective.
I mean, I think. Did you? We're still waiting on day pass.
Fold for Dennis.
Come on, day pass. Stop referring to all the charts and shit, you guys. You already know. Oh, there he is. He did it. Raise the 10K. Final answer is on the fence with the call. What up, D Mac? Call and cry when I get squeezed. When we get squeezed, he's gonna need a
T
pretty
Mac,
big
what
hand.
up?
All right. So your guy went already, correct?
Yeah, folding. Dennis folding.
Dennis folding, and we're going 10K.
Might
We're
slip
never-
into a squeeze. I know King 8 and King 9 tend to be squeezes, but if you look at the chart, it's 100% call.
I mean, we can. I think we need to be much stronger linear. I mean, I feel like I call down to like. I don't have the chart. Like maybe calling down to like King 6, King 7. I don't know
King
if we
6,
call
King
King
7
5 and
mix.
King 4. But okay. Do we call King 5, King 4? Because
No.
I'm not sure. Nope. We have to call this, and then we squeeze. It starts at 10 plus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. We need suited King 10 plus, Queen 10, Jack 10, Ace 10 to squeeze here, or suited
Yep.
10s to this action, and everything else is too weak.
And then
But it just
sevens
has enough
plus.
equity.
Sevens plus
Yeah.
also squeeze.
Yeah, and then 7s plus. Yep. So yeah, we raising the 10K, but I think we just want to call this.
We're folding. Uh-oh. Here we go.
Yep.
So I think this is a spot people are way too tight. I think this is a 100% call. It's a min raise. The button didn't 3-bet. You know, I think this is a very, very clear call. I think it's a little too weak. It's not strong enough to squeeze, but it's not weak enough. Like, it's kind of a little bit. I'm going to be a little more linear in my range. This hand kind of sucks to make it 9,000, 10,000 and then have them jam. We're going to get jammed on quite a bit because we're giving him a very good price to jam in terms of the risk reward of us folding. So be careful. I wouldn't hate a 3-bet here. I think the 3-bet is reasonable, but I think calling just makes a lot of sense here, given it's a min raise. We have a good hand out of position. I do call 8-7-3 with 2 hearts. Should we check, bet 2,000, bet 4,000, or bet 6,000?
Flop top pair. Top-ish kicker.
Yeah, JL does say, and he says it. I've watched his streams. When he streams, he always says, "Fuck it, refer to a chart if you need to." Like he's like on that street. He's on that boat. Richie says 6K. Only 3-bet this versus a strong player versus bad players. EC call. Or the stronger players are gonna 4-bet you correctly and call correctly. So that's even a tricky line to do something with that's not theoretically sound versus strong players, because they'll get your ass.
No one's leading here, right? We're just checking.
Oh shit, you crazy as hell. Leads are flooding into the chat.
Really?
Not C2.
The fuck?
It was my man Rich and then Raging Owl out there, and then everybody else stopped checking. I did see two. I was like, wait a minute, where the fuck is this going?
Good job.
That's about to just start leading. Cool. Yeah. Wait a minute. Who did I pick? Oh, Day Pass. I'm waiting for Day Pass. I mean, he has to answer it. You know, I mean, he might lead. Might think that leads best. Day Pass leading with 4K.
Go.
And you're checking over there, correct?
Yep.
Snapchat.
Snapchat. Check to the aggressor.
Check to the aggressor. Unfortunately, for everybody, we're still, even with this, it feels fucking bad, man, but I'm just.
This is a board, too, that isn't all that coordinated. They're going to c-bet a lot. Do we lead here ever? I don't think we lead here ever. Not on 8-7-3.
Multi-way as well.
Yeah.
No hard, just get me. I mean, we're not getting me out. We're going to have to read. This is nice because when we hit a king, you know, on the turn or something, it's kind of disguised. They're going to have a lot of single pair king X. We start to stack, but no way in hell I'm leading.
No.
Then what? But let's click lead and see what Matt thinks.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Ooh. I would check my range here. There might be a little bit leading, but in the spots I've studied here, multi-way, normally, like, the types of boards we want to lead here are 3 low cards with a straight. So, like, 6-5-3 we'd get leads on. 5-4-3. Because our range is very condensed here to small pairs, and, like, suited aces and suited kings. So, like, these boards like 6-4-3, we're just going to have pocket 6s, pocket 4s, pocket 3s, ace 5, ace deuce, nut flush draws, king eye flush draws so often. This board, I think, is a little too... I don't have pocket 8s pre-flop here. We would squeeze or shove. I think 7s as well, we would squeeze or shove. And so I don't think this is our board to lead on, although I don't hate it if you have, some exploit reads on people. If you want to lead for 2,000, the small size would be the only size we get a lead for here. But Cutoff and Button are pretty good players, so I'm going to stick with my check strategy here. And it checks through. 10 of hearts. Should we check? Bet 2,000, bet 4,000, or bet 6,000.
All right, what now? Oh, I forgot we checked.
Around.
Pre-flop we just called raise, so we wouldn't have any leads there.
Yeah.
Button has sets for our calls. Raging out 12. Not a size, but we're doing it. Day pass is checking. I think a lot of people.
Check for Dennis.
2 or 4.
Still check.
Richard
Check. Check.
Chuck doing 4. Leading for half pot on turn. Marginal made hand again. Am I right? Feel like we are forced to check again. Easy checks.
Marlon, I find this statement interesting. Marginal made hand, check to raise. He was halfway there and then made a sharp right.
I can't wait to kick it with this cat. This cat is wild.
Check for all broker.
Holy fuck. Shit. Day pass is checking.
Bruce. Poker is hard again. I need more morphine. Bruce.
All right. You good over there?
Checking.
Isn't it like, no, this is...
Marginal made hand, we're checking. They have a lot of 10x.
I know in the solver, when it checks through in some of these spots, you get a very... Well, before I finish, let me finish the point. Like, I think I see the solver, like in these multi-way spots, use a 33% sizing with a very wide range of hands. Like, I think we could go small here at some frequency. I don't know about this particular combo because, it's marginal made. And we're going to get caught being held, but I imagine, like, we wouldn't need just a 10 or a very strong hand to bet here. I think we can bet pretty wide.
I think a 10 of hearts is a particularly bad card, though, right? We've like it's like Marlon almost said. Like, we have a marginal made hand, we get the showdown.
Yeah.
We don't turn marginal made hands into a bluff, Marlon. Marginal made means get the showdown.
I wonder if he's gonna ever say anything, allude to the point about it checking through and what our frequency of betting these kind of spots is, because I think would be interesting to me to learn. But yeah, I mean, I'm checking here always, but at the same time, go ahead.
So don't we have to worry about an over on the river? The problem with that is, like, there's already an over on the turn and the heart. We might already be dead.
Yeah, cut off. Both these ranges include a lot of offsuit 10x. Maybe button has some that would be just 3-betting some of its 10x, but nonetheless, let's just check. I was just kind of just exploring if we can ever go small in this spot and what range of hands outside of it can we use, because I'm always trying to think of where my bluffs come from.
Oh, we're gonna find out.
Let's do it. Oh fuck! Did you go 4?
I think this one's pretty easy. We just have a check.
Oh, no
here.
check.
Really bad card for our range, for our hand. I don't think there's too much to discuss here. I might even check range here, considering we have 2 players that can still have flushes, and we want to be playing pretty careful out of position here.
So you check range. Have, like, holy fuck!
So very, very high frequency check here. Our hand's gonna be a pure check. I don't like betting. If you're gonna bet, it has to be a small bet here.
2K.
Cutoff bet's 2,500. The button calls. Should we fold, call, raise to 8,000, or raise to 12,500?
Thanks for answering my question and tell me to shut your ass up and think about more important things, Sixes. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. So many words.
Keep always the pot small, for sure, for poker.
I mean, yeah. Let's see. Easy. What now?
Kept snap folds.
My man. Richie says tough. It's tough in the paint.
It's a bit ugly.
Fold now, Chuck says. So we got to call 25 and there's 13 out there. What are you guys thinking? Joker says Dennis. Fold. I don't hate fold or call, he says. Day pass is calling.
Bruce took a morphine dab and then said fold.
Negative NRG says crying ass call.
Everybody folding in my chat.
Reginald's folding. Wanted to go 12K on the turn. Everybody folding except for 2 people. I mean, get me out. Get me the hell out.
I'm out.
Get me out of
and
here.
A call. Like, even one bet, we're calling. But 2 bet and call, we're dead.
You can almost hit any one of your outs and be dead.
Yeah.
You can literally be dead to all of your outs. Yeah. And you have to act first. And it's just get me out of here. Price so good, but we're at do we have the best hand ever? And if we don't,
and do we realize we ever realize our equity?
How do we realize the equity? We might get bluffed. There's gonna be a heart. a jack, a 9, an ace, a queen. Is a king even good? Like,
Yeah.
we hit king 10 or something. Get me out.
Yep.
I'm folding.
Yep.
We're calling because Day Pass is calling, but let's see what
Sticky.
Matt thinks.
Woo!
I
Thank you,
think we
man.
just have
Thank
a fold
God.
here.
Woo!
Kinda sucks,
I was
but
like, Matt,
I really
don't
like
make me do it.
equity here. We have no way to improve if we're behind, so we could be just drawing stone dead
No
here.
way.
We're going to be facing a lot of tricky river spots. Just not a lot of good things. I think this is a very clear fold here. Like, if I had Jack 8 or 9-8 or Jack 7, then we'd be talking about something here. If I had a heart in my hand, we'd be talking. But here, our hand, we're just drawing dead. If the button didn't call, we'd probably call with our king 8 of diamonds. But now that the button calls, I think we're just out of the way here. We don't want to be the third caller in with this type of a hand. So we fold.
Hell no.
Yeah. Go. Get the hell out.
He said you could be just
Run!
fucking stone dead. It's
Run for your
important.
life.
And Joe said it as well, like, heads up, call, right? Like, yeah, it's an easy call, heads up. So
Read the
that-
room. Someone's got a purr.
Somebody's got something and you can be stone fucking dead. So we have a 27 for our efforts. I doubt that's good.
34 for Dennis.
All piss.
We almost goosed him, guys. He eked by. We almost goosed him.
Chuck Carey and the boys today, my dude. Well done, my man. But yeah, I think that's going to do it. Fun session today. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Make sure to give my man Toe a follow. Shout
Yep,
out.
Sixes follow. Give the link is in the chat right now as well.
God's Big Toe.
Exclamation point PC in the chat and both chats to get a link to sign up for free to pokercoaching.com. It's Jonathan Little's poker coaching site. You got these quizzes. There's homework assignments that are really in depth that are cool. There's webinars every week with a bunch of different coaches where you can get personal one-on-one time, talk to them directly. It's great. So that one, Discord too, right?
Yep, Discord's in there.
Poker Coaching Discord. We have AMAs. We have hand history rooms. Sixes and Iron all the time. There's weekly giveaways. There's a ton of free content. Free excellent content for you all right there. If you like this one, you want to see this one from the beginning, you want to see anyone we've done in the past with our esteemed guests or just me and the great and powerful Crazy Sixes, YouTube in the chat for that one.
Wait a minute. Jared Tindler has a mindset eliminating tilt workshop. I might have to. I've been kind of tilted the past few sessions. I might have to check this out.
I think you just need
I didn't see
sleep
this. They haven't slept much.
and a vacation.
I just took one to Miami. So
And then
GG
came
on
back.
that.
Came back to put in a whole curriculum. That takes a lot out of you, man.
Yeah, no.
It's hard to be famous and good.
Shit. Got a long way to go. My boys, make sure to check Toe out. And who are we dropping it off to, man?
The only people I say that makes sense is DGen and Bras.
Always DGen. I mean, we always hook up Bras, but let's hook up Dramatic DGen today. Guys, thank you. I'll be on tomorrow streaming all the fucking majors at some point, probably 2 or 3 tomorrow. Please come kick it with me. And I'll be around. So let's drop
Don't
it
let
off
him be
to
lonely.
Dramatic. I do. You guys know how to get when I'm lonely. Let's go ahead and kick this off to Dramatic DGen. Thank you guys.
See you later.
for the
Peace.
support. Peace.